What's up everyone? Welcome to Big Brother 16 What You Didn't See Week 10. I mean, technically it's week 9, but there's that whole double eviction thing, so week 10. I'm gonna give you the lowdown on what's been happening on the live feeds this week that you might not see on the broadcast episodes. So, here we go. Last thing we saw on the show was that Cody won HOH and he nominated Donnie and Nicole. Huge shocker there. Cody hates Donnie with a passion. He continuously makes empty threats on about how he's gonna call Donnie out on all his lies and about how he's been playing this game. It doesn't really make any sense. I mean, sure Cody, keep making your empty threats. Well, we all know you're not gonna do anything unless Derek says it's okay. Cody was talking to Derek about a possible replacement nominee if the case happened where Donnie was able to pull himself off the block. Cody mentioned that he would probably want to put up Frankie. Derek then says that that is a big boy move, and if he wanted to do that, he's gotta realize that Donnie and Nicole are scary in the house together, especially if one of them wins HOH. Derek thinks it might be too early to make this move and that it could very well backfire on them if Frankie goes home. He says that if Donnie and Nicole are after him already, if Frankie's out the door, then potentially Caleb would be after him for being mad at evicting Frankie, and then Nicole and Donnie, if they win HOH, Christine would probably run to them, leaving Derek and Cody by themselves. Victoria's face is unbelievably swollen. Her cheeks look like a blowfish. Her wisdom teeth are having serious issues right now. I think they're impacted or something. Well, it looks like her wisdom teeth have been removed. Her face is so swollen right now. It is insane. She actually was called into the diary room to see a doctor to figure out what's going on with her mouth. Later that evening, actually, Nicole heard something strange in the bathroom and she called out Victoria's name because she knew she was in there, and she couldn't hear anything. She then opened the door to find her laying there passed out and didn't really know where she was. She calls out for Derek's help and she is sweating and almost hyperventilating and she is not looking good at all. Derek runs to her help right away and then it immediately cuts to Fish. Victoria then returns to the house after a visit to the doctor on site, so she never left the Big Brother house. She had a bandage on her arm, so there was an IV attached to her, which would probably give her all her nutrients and keep her hydrated because she hasn't been eating, and also to subside a little bit of the pain. Apparently the nurses poked her in the wrong arm at first, which caused her some severe pain and discomfort, and she was given pain medication as well to help for her teeth. The POV players this week are Donnie, Nicole, Cody, Frankie, Derek, and Christine, with Caleb as the host, leaving Victoria to continue to do absolutely nothing. So, to go along with this boring week, boring ass Cody wins the power of veto, meaning this week will be super uneventful, unbelievably predictable, and no solid moves will be made. The competition sounded like it had something to do with numbers, and I think it was the stay and fold competition where they have to count a certain amount of objects and then write it down and stay or fold if they're confident in their answer, making it an elimination round, and Cody apparently won that game. He also had to choose who to watch this new TV show Scorpion with him. He got to choose 2 house guests to join him, and he chose Donnie and Nicole. Derek says it's actually good that Cody left him in the house with Caleb and Frankie. That way he can keep an eye on them while Cody's in the HOH room with Donnie and Nicole. And apparently there's no game talk during the reward. The detonators are very excited they finally get to evict their main target, Donnie. Christine actually told Cody that he is so smart for evicting him, and Cody actually said that America's gonna hate him for getting Donnie out, and he may finally be right about one thing. Christine and Victoria are convinced that Donnie isn't very well liked, but we all love Donnie. Team America will make their own mission this week. I honestly don't really know what that means, but they get to decide what mission they want, and then I guess America gets to vote if they succeeded or not. Donnie suggested to both Derek and Frankie that they should use this mission to save him this week, saying that Derek and Frankie are 2 votes and he only needs 1 more vote to stay, so that they should use this mission to save him and gain them all money and they can continue to make money down the road. Derek and Frankie shoot this down, saying it's not fair. Derek then goes on to say that everyone in the house loves you, Donnie, but they are just so scared of you because he's nice, intelligent, and a great guy who would win in the final 2. Basically, Derek just lays down the line and says that he's going home this week and deters Donnie away from any idea of using this mission to save him. Frankie even says that the audience wants something fun and simple and that America wants to just give them simple money and they don't want us to make it complicated for them. What the heck? They then decide to either create a Broadway show or to make up some saboteur in the house. They end up deciding to do a Broadway play. The Broadway performance begins with Frankie starting off the show as host. The show is called House Swap, where each of the house guests remaining in the game will portray one of the house guests that have been evicted. The first act of the multiple act play, apparently, is a glimpse into the diary room sessions. Frankie started out as Joey, which he actually did a pretty good job of. Somewhat entertaining, talking about all the girls' alliances and doing a pretty good impression of her. Next, Donnie does a great impression of Devin and gets it spot on. He gets really into it. He does an amazing impression and has the house guests laughing hysterically. It kills me that Donnie is so into this Team America mission when Derek and Frankie denied the mission to save himself. Nicole is up next and she starts portraying Brittany. She isn't very committed, but is pretty funny and is constantly lotioning her legs like Brittany always did and talking about how she feels entitled for doing nothing and how she should get rewards for all the punishments she's endured. It was pretty spot on the way Brittany's attitude was towards the game. Christine is up next and she plays Pow Pow. She tries but isn't very funny. It's very crude. She's like farting and making crude noises and talking out of the side of her mouth and talking about how she was constantly trying to get in all the guys' pants, but it was okay. Cody up next plays Zach and does a very boring, bland job of it, of course. He basically just sits there and talks about the things that Zach does, not really acting like Zach at all, really, and he says, of course, Fruit Loop Dingus a bunch of times. Victoria plays Amber, and it's actually really funny. I've never seen Victoria so lively on the show, ever. She basically mostly just talks about lingerie and boobs. After a bunch of nagging and convincing, Caleb finally agrees to play Hayden. He tries to be a funny kind of surfer guy, but doesn't really commit to it, and he doesn't really have much to say. He screws up and breaks character in the middle of it and just stops talking and starts talking like Caleb again. It ruins the whole mood. Good job, Caleb. Derek comes out finally as Jocasta, holding the Bible and crying all the time and thanking Donnie for staying in the game and thanking Jesus and God, of course, and then he does like random shoutouts to her children. It's pretty funny. The whole Broadway show was kind of cringeworthy and not very entertaining. It dragged on a lot, but it had its moments. Frankie then goes to play this Consuela or Consuelo character for an extended period of time. They continue to do random impressions of house guests, and Caleb comes out as this Rico character. It gets lamer and lamer as time goes on, and it lasts like 45 minutes to an hour, I think. But as for Team America missions go, I don't think I'm gonna vote for this as a completed. It didn't do anything to the game. Caleb and Cody do not trust Christine at all. They think she will run to anyone who's in power and turn on the Alliance whenever she's in trouble. They don't want to give her any information at all because that way she can use it against them. They are nervous of Frankie and Christine working together as well. Victoria gets mad at Christine for leaving her alone with Donnie for too long. Apparently Donnie and her got into a little bit of a tiff while Victoria was making Donnie tofu. I guess Donnie was making kind of somewhat rude comments to Victoria while she was cooking, saying why, or asking her questions about the tofu, which made Victoria mad, apparently. So this pissed off Victoria, and now she hates Donnie. Donnie and Nicole talk about how they are highly outnumbered, and the upside of one of them staying in the house is that the Alliance is so big that they have enough room to turn on each other without losing the numbers, letting the one who stays in the house slip by for a couple weeks. Both Donnie and Nicole want to stay in the house really badly. They just know it's going to be very hard coming down the road. There is another shouting over the fence in the backyard, and if you haven't heard of the other accounts of shouting over the backyard fence, the first one a few weeks ago said that, "We love you, Zach!" The second one, I think about a week ago, said something along the lines of Frankie being disgusting, and then there was one a couple days ago that said a bunch. It said, Frankie is the saboteur is Frankie, he's lying to everyone and can't be trusted, Christine is hated by America, Derek, stop being the fun police, it's a TV show and you're not on duty, Caleb, you're trusting the wrong people, Frankie will stab you in the back. I don't think the house guests heard any of that tangibly. Derek and Cody believe that Nicole would put up Frankie and Christine. It seems pretty clear that Donnie is going home this week. This isn't stopping Nicole from campaigning to everyone for votes. She seems to be making her rounds to everyone and acting nice and talking game here and there to secure her place in the house. Even though she's safe, she has every right to campaign for her safety because she was just evicted 2 weeks ago. She told Victoria that she is much better for her game than Donnie is. And then she told Derek everything that she told Victoria. I really don't know what Nicole's doing. She is obviously still under Derek's spell. Hopefully she can come out of it and see that the true targets for her should be Derek and Cody and not Christine and Frankie. But if Nicole goes after Derek and Cody, Christine and Frankie might still go after her and not work with her, whereas Derek and Cody might work with her to get Christine and Frankie out. So maybe it is better for Nicole's game? It's really tough for her. Well, that's pretty much all I could scrounge together for this week of Big Brother 16 What You Didn't See Week 10. It's getting down to the wire, there's not many people left in the house, and we are getting down to the nitty gritty. I just really hope this game picks up somehow and Derek just isn't handed the $500,000. I apologize for the lack of episode last week, I was on holidays. If I missed anything, I am terribly sorry, and if I gave you any false information, I sincerely apologize for that. And, of course, if you like this video, please scroll down and hit the like button and make that turn blue. It would really make my day. And, of course, leave a comment if you like. Be sure to tune in next week. See you guys.